difficult has that been for your preparations for the championship?
It has been difficult. The lads have been very honest, so they've given a huge commitment, and I suppose it took a long time for me to get to know them, and we had a rocky league performance, but at the end of the day we finished third in the division and we held our stature for next year.
Do you feel that you've started to become more settled with the side?
Yeah, I'm getting to know them a lot better now. We've gone with quite a young team for this weekend, and it's a building process, and we're happy with what we've achieved so far and where we're going.
I put display last year against Wicklow. There wasn't much point in saying anything else. But when you watch Wicklow out there at the minute, and just after coming in from watching them, they're a quality side too. Maybe not in the same league as the top 5 or 6 teams, but we took our eye off the ball and paid the price. And if we do the same today, we'll pay the same price.
But this is a Kildare team performing better at the moment, isn't it?
Yeah, you would hope so. We've had some reasonable displays. A lot of fellas are getting a little bit more confident now, but Offaly are a different kettle of fish as well. To me, they probably have one of the top 6 forwards in the country, and Niall McNamee, you've Carl Slattery there, you've 5 or 6 quality players as well that can cause team any problem. So it'll be more or less the same sort of thing today, how everybody reacts to the Championship Sunday, whether they can sort of get the technical skill out there, but it's more of a mental thing now than anything else. They're all capable of playing, it's just who does it on the big day.
Kildare have made a late change at right full back, by the way, ahead of the game that's coming up very shortly. They brought in Michael Foley there instead of Andrew McLaughlin. Colin O'Rourke, hopefully we'll see a good football match here.
Yeah, I'd have no doubt about it that this game would be played in a much better spirit, because one thing about Kildare is they go out and play football, and Kieran McGinney, but I think it's been
away, and Dermot Earley gets the first knock down there to his partner Darrell Flynn. Fed in there towards Ronan Sweeney, nicely laid off here as far as Kavanagh. Kavanagh with the opening shot, comes off the post, over the bar. What a start inside the opening 15 seconds, and James Kavanagh getting the opening point of this match. It was a right blitzkrieg start here. Excellent opening for Kildare. The post was needed, they all count. Field nicely slipping it outside here as far as Conor Carroll from Raheen. Carroll nicely in here as far as Ken Casey, and Casey supplies the equaliser. Wonderful start. Well, the St. Bridget's man was in at the receiving end of this pass, and Offaly show what they can do, which is highly impressive. Good. Opportunity to advance, back onto his right. Lost possession to Carol Slattery. Brian Darby given an awful pass there, back as far as Johnny Doyle, and Johnny Doyle sends it straight over the bar. The man from Allenwood, team captain today. Fans appreciate the efforts, so too the manager. What a start by Kildare, who lead by a goal and 2 to a point here. Great finishing.
Really sharp, Jared. Chasing around, looking for any loose ball, and so sharp in picking his shot and getting it out quickly and over the bar.
Well, Johnny Doyle is going to provide quite a handful for Conor Evans this afternoon, that's for certain. Great take in the middle of the field by Niall Smith, such a very good fielder of the ball, but he leaves it behind here. And the free kick awarded to Kildare, and because Offaly were protesting, ball has been brought up the field here. Smith will be hoping to enjoy some parity in the middle of the park. That's going to be difficult. That's a nice ball ahead there for Porrick O'Neill. The angle kick here. Well, he was a rush of blood to the head stuff that time. Didn't have much of an angle to aim at, and he had support players inside, and he decided to try and craft a decent opening. Well, only 5 minutes gone, but the only goal so far supplied by Alan Smith. What a ball in by Johnny Doyle. Carol Slattery might have held off the goal scorer a little better, but half an hour of this match could be very difficult for them, and it's looking like that. And Johnny Doyle is once again, after getting by Conor Evans, onto the right and over the bar. 2 for Johnny Doyle, another for Kildare, and they lead by a goal and 3 to a point.
Very sharp again here, Jared Doyle. He's onto this like a bullet. He has only one thing in mind: get in front of the goal, and look how quickly he just unloads and shoots. Absolutely super shot. Very
difficult ball to contain, but eventually falls down to Johnny Doyle. That sharpness is certainly there, and Ronan Sweeney kicks it brilliantly through the post. First of the day for Ronan Sweeney, and everybody in the inside forward line, Alan Smith, Sweeney and Doyle, has now managed to get the score, and Johnny Doyle once again the provider. He's having a stormer. That was a great finish by Sweeney.
Well, the important thing when you have dominance during these...
Well, it gives Johnny Doyle some further target practice. 2 points so far for him. He's created many other scores, including the goal, and now he's got a third. Wonderful start to his 14th season in the Championship. Niall McNamee kicking after a couple of misses. Finally, he gets a reward, and the Offaly fans get a chance to cheer. Transferred to Ronan Sweeney. They use the big gaps between midfield and the inside forwards. Johnny Doyle again. Great running by Smith. Bit of movement ahead of him, but Smith decides to go for another one, and he fists it over the bar. Goal and a point for Alan Smith. Very good return. The fans...
Live half-time between Kildare and Offaly. Kildare leading 1-9 to 4 points at the half-time break. Joe Bradley, you never write any team off at half-time, but for sure it looks like it could be a long road back for Offaly now.
Definitely write them off. There's no chance whatsoever that Offaly can win the game. And I say that because the teams are playing different games. Kildare are well organised. They're playing they've got an entrenched defensive plan. You know, they're funneling back into that central area. Offaly are looking up. They don't know what to do with the ball. There's no one to give it to, apparently. And they're just, I mean, it reminded me very much of Derry against Monaghan last year. And because Kildare have it all their own way, they're playing with great vigour and confidence. I think that they had an excellent league anyway. I mean, although they didn't get promoted. And, I mean, apart from the fact that Kildare's method has given them a huge advantage, their players, their fitness, you know, the work that's obviously been done by Kieran McGeeney and the backroom staff. You know, Kildare were worried and nervous this time last year, but today they've hit the ground running for the Championship, and I believe they are going to be contenders, even if they lack a bit of quality through the team. You know?
OK, let's have a look at a couple of examples of what you're talking about, the way Kildare have gone about their business in that first half. Well,
the thing that's very striking, you know, from the Ulster perspective, is that the Offaly defenders are just man-to-man. So, you know, the other thing is that they're all playing behind their men. Look at that frame. Every single Offaly defender is playing behind his man, and it was an easy job for the Kildare man to come out, lay the ball off to the on-rushing half forward. The Kildare half backs and half forwards are attacking quickly. They're all moving at pace. I mean, watch this, for example. The Offaly midfielder doesn't even track Dermot Early. So you'll see that there are 3 Kildare forwards. All of them are inside their man, running towards the goal, and it's the simplest possible point chance for Dermot Early. And, you know, by this stage of the game, it was already over. This is the best example, I think, of the space now. Look at the space now. Now, there's 2, now that would be enough. That photograph will be enough to make Malachy O'Rourke take to his bed for a fortnight, you know. It would probably send him into cardiac arrest. Easy pass in. The back's nowhere near him. And a very easy score. In fact, if he had hand-passed it across the square, it would have been an easy flick into the net. So the game is a non-event. It's not a championship match. And
yeah, but you know,
the point is this: that a team like Offaly, you know, it's the manager's job to try and equalise the odds, try to change the thing, and to go out and play just ordinary football. Where look, everybody go out and give it a lash, lads, and do your best. It's not going to work in this day and age, and you can see that there's a gap developing.
Yeah, but but in this day and age, there's still nothing wrong with man-to-man marking. But man-to-man marking has to be done tight. You must be goal-sided of the attacker. I mean, so we have basic defending not being done properly. But the one thing, remember, this is a bunch of players that got rid of their manager after 1 or 2 games in the league this year. So the pressure is on the players to deliver today. So the one thing you would have been expecting from the Monaghan players today is intensity, passion, work rate and commitment. And it's not showing.
I suppose we had too much going on in the first match and not enough going on in the second match.
Well, the first match was a proper championship contest. I appreciate that Monaghan dragged the game down to a certain level, but that's what you've got to, unless you can compete with that and get through it, you're not going to be able to strut your stuff against the better teams.
You know, we're up for the match, all right.
Yeah, you know, there's no point in walking blindly into an ambush and pretending that the greater skill of your individuals will bring you through. I mean, you watch this match.